All right, let's get right into it. There is a silent battle being fought in your home pretty much every single day. And no, it's not about pests or anything you can see. This is a hidden war happening right now inside your walls and under your floors. A war against your home's plumbing.
You've probably seen some of the warning signs, right? A gurgling toilet, a water bill that's suddenly way too high, that smelly drain, or the slow sink that just drives you nuts. We usually just brush these off as, minor annoyances, but they're not. They're actually clues, little distress signals from the front lines of this hidden war.
So the big question is, are these just random problems, a little bit of bad luck? Or are they symptoms of something much, much bigger going on? Let's find out. To really get to the bottom of this, we're going to zero in on a case study, Conroe, Texas. It's a place where homes have some really unique plumbing challenges, and it's not because of what's in the walls, but because of what's happening just beneath the foundation.
As it turns out, the main culprit, the primary bad guy in this whole story, isn't some faulty pipe. It's the earth itself. I mean, the actual ground your house is sitting on is actively working against your plumbing.
So what is this villain? Well, it's something called expansive clay soil. And listen, this is not your typical garden dirt. This soil acts like a giant sponge. It swells up like crazy when it gets wet and then shrinks down dramatically when it dries. It basically puts an incredible slow-motion vice grip on anything buried inside of it.
And it's just this relentless cycle. During the dry season, the soil shrinks, pulling away from pipes and creating these stressful gaps. Then, boom, the rains come, it swells back up and squeezes those same pipes with immense force. This constant push and pull just weakens pipes year after year after year. But here's the thing, the soil isn't working alone. Oh no, it has accomplices. You've got extreme Texas heat stressing out water heaters, sudden winter freezes that can burst pipes, high humidity that speeds up corrosion, and then you have the ghosts of plumbing past. Outdated materials like polybutylene in older homes that are just ticking time bombs. It's a total perfect storm. So when you get this whole team of environmental forces working together, well, it can lead to some truly catastrophic plumbing failures. Let's walk through 4 of the most common disasters they cause. First step is the one every single homeowner dreads, the slab leak. This is when a pipe breaks inside or even underneath the concrete foundation of your home. It's such a nasty, hidden threat that can cause unbelievable damage before you even have a clue it's there.
So how would you even know this is happening? Well, a water bill that suddenly skyrockets for no reason, a weird warm spot on your floor, or maybe hearing the faint sound of running water when you know everything is turned off, these are the absolute classic telltale signs of a leak hiding right under your feet. And here's the play-by-play of how our villain, the shifting soil, pulls off the crime. It flexes and moves, putting nonstop stress on those rigid copper pipes in the slab until, pop, they finally get these tiny pinhole leaks or just come apart at the joints. That water then just silently seeps into your foundation, compromising the whole structure of your home. Okay, next up, we've got a disaster that comes from the outside in. Think about it. Your sewer line is this amazing source of water and nutrients, and the trees in your yard, they know it, and they will find a way to get inside. So if you're dealing with clogs that just keep coming back, weird gurgling sounds, or nasty odors, the culprit is very often tree roots. They can squeeze through the tiniest cracks in your sewer line, and once they're inside, they grow into this thick, tangled mass that blocks absolutely everything. Disaster number 3 is an inside job. In a lot of places, the water itself can be a major enemy to your water heater, and it can dramatically shorten its lifespan. Rumbling noises and rusty water are those classic signs of trouble. See, in places like Conroe, where the water is hard, mineral sediment builds up inside the tank. This makes the heating element work way harder, and it literally corrodes the tank from the inside out, leading to leaks and total failure in as little as 8 to 12 years. Now, our final common disaster isn't caused by nature, but by the water system itself. Sometimes the water is being delivered to your home with just way too much force, and the little device that's meant to protect you can just wear out. If your faucets are always dripping, or you hear loud banging noises in your pipes, that's called water hammer, you might have high water pressure. Anything above 80 psi puts a massive strain on your entire system. The pressure regulator is supposed to stop this, but they do fail over time, leaving your appliances and pipes totally vulnerable to damage. Okay, so with all these hidden enemies working against your home, how in the world do you fight back? Well, modern materials and a professional playbook are the answer. The battle has evolved, and guess what? So have the tools. One of the absolute biggest game changers is PEX piping. Just look at this comparison. While your traditional copper pipes are rigid and they crack under the pressure of shifting soil, PEX is flexible. It can actually move with the ground instead of fighting against it. It's also way more resistant to freezing and has fewer joints, which means fewer potential points where it can fail. Of course, when things do go wrong, the cost can vary a lot, and it's really important to understand why. Look, a simple fix is one thing, but if a plumber has to jackhammer through a concrete slab just to get to a leak, the cost skyrockets. Same goes for those after-hours emergency calls or a huge project that needs a full repipe instead of a tiny repair. Your home's history is also super critical here. If it was built before the 1980s, you might be living with these ghosts of plumbing past. Galvanized steel rusts from the inside out, slowly choking your water flow. And polybutylene? Ugh, that stuff was notorious for getting brittle and just failing catastrophically without any warning. Finding and replacing these is a major proactive defense. So after seeing the enemies and all the modern weapons, what's the ultimate takeaway? It really comes down to empowering you, the homeowner, with the knowledge you need to protect your own system. And a huge part of that is knowing how to hire the right professional. Seriously, don't be afraid to ask these key questions. A real pro will be licensed and insured, they'll give you a written estimate, and they'll understand the specific challenges of your area, like those soil conditions we've been talking about. They should also handle all the permits and, of course, stand behind their work with a solid warranty. So, we've pulled back the curtain on the hidden war that's happening in the ground and in the walls of Conroe. We've met the enemies, the soil, the climate, the outdated materials. So now the real question is this. Do you know what enemies are hiding in yours?